cold start video for the Citroen SM with the Maserati engine, hence the M. So the car has been just moved out of its storage unit over there, but it is cold. So, Andrew, if you'd like to. As you can see, the car is rising up to its driving height. Is that now at full height?
That's the driving height.
Is it? Wow.
Full height?
Okay, go on, yeah, stick it up to full height. And can you give it a blip? Flashing like that.
That's turning the handbrakes on.
Okay, and
if you take the handbrake off,
lovely.
Light goes off.
And give it another blip. Lovely, thank you very much indeed. Do you want to just pop it down to its normal driving height? Right, we're now doing a driving video in the Citroen SM with a Maserati V6 up front wheel drive, 5-speed gearbox. The engine pulls incredibly well. It's very torquey and powerful. The engine's now warmed up. The ride is very Citroen-like, so it's really smooth. No rattles or bangs from the suspension. And dashboard obviously is a left-hand drive. Manual. You can hear the V6 rasp as we accelerate away. So, Andrew, regarding the steering and everything, what could you tell us about the steering?
Steering, it's really easy and light. It's power assisted from the same hydraulic system that does the suspension of the brakes.
Yeah.
And it's self-centering, so you take your hand off and it returns back to straightforward.
Unlike some Citroen models.
Unlike some Citroens, yeah. So the steering is incredibly light. So it's all very easy to drive.
Yeah. And in terms of the dials, does everything work on the...
Everything's working, yep. So this is your warning light. It has a great big red light. It pops up every now and again when you use too much power. It indicates that it's...
From memory, don't Citroens have that big red... All Citroens with the hydraulic used to have that red light, didn't they?
Yes, they do. So it's the right...
Yeah.
But it's... None of it comes on. That's because the fuel tank is flat at the bottom. So when it's full up, the monitor seems to think it's running empty, but it's not. It's because it's
okay. And also, we haven't actually got much petrol in it, have we?
Not much petrol.
No.
But actually, the economy is quite good, unless you really rev it all the time. The fuel consumption is pretty okay. It runs on. It's almost like it likes dirty fuel. It doesn't like the most expensive.
It likes the E10 is good.
Yeah. So these cars are renowned for being quite well mannered when it comes to the type of fuel you put in it.
Yeah.
So you don't have to lavish loads of money on the fuel.
Yeah, the handling is absolutely sublime, really, isn't it?
Well, it's spot on. There's no play in the steering wheel whatsoever.
And the brakes pull up nicely. Now, for those that don't know, Citroens of old used to have mushroom-style brake pedals. This one has actually got that, but it is controllable with a delicate foot, isn't it?
Yeah, once you're used to it, the first time you use it, it's a bit scary because it is. The brakes are exceptionally sharp.
Yeah.
But when you get used to it and you temper your driving properly, then it's not a problem.
Yeah.
The suspension all works perfectly well, so that's all been looked at and resurfaced. I had new hydraulic oil put in it a couple of weeks ago. Had the whole system drained out and redone.
With new LHM?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's lovely the way it goes over a speed bump, isn't it?
That speed bump is the worst in town. In my Land Rover, it's like you're hitting a brick wall. But here it's a speed bump, but it's nice and smooth and doesn't jar you back.
Yeah.
Having said that, the seats are so comfortable here.
They are very, very soft, the seats, aren't they? This is a proper magic carpet ride. Right, well, I think that can conclude. Oh, I suppose, yes. So what have you actually done to the car since you've owned it? And
I didn't actually need a huge amount because the previous owner had done the essentials. So the timing chain was changed, the valves, the hollow valves were changed for solid, which is an absolute essential and must for all Citroen SMs.
Yeah.
The original valves were sodium filled, so when they get damp and not used, they tended to snap off and fall into the piston chamber and then grenade the engine.
Right.
So those have all been done. I believe the previous owner put new stainless steel exhausts on. I've had it, the carburetor's balanced, the choke cable's changed, and all the usual maintenance that you expect to have to do is done.
Right.
They went through that about 3 weeks ago, 2-3 weeks ago. And although when you open the bonnet, it looks like a bit like Spaghetti Junction with pipes and tubes and cables all over the place, it's a fairly simple engine in terms of it's got pistons that go up and down, it's got a crank wheel that turns.
Exactly, yeah. Right, well, I think that can conclude the on the road section of this absolutely stunning car.